All right, hello, this is Nuke Marine presenting Let's Read Japanese, course series for the reading of Japanese text alongside its audio counterpart. All right, so the way it's going to work, off to the side is going to be the text we're reading. Usually they're subtitle rips of TV shows, but sometimes they're digital books. Up above is going to be the audio I'll be reading along to. Usually it's a TV show the subs came from, but sometimes it's an audio book. All right, so I'm reading the text, and as I read along, I've got the audio playing. The benefit there is I'm going to hear how natives pronounce the Japanese text. Cool. Plus, then the other things such as pausing, immersions, all the things that you can't really get across with just the text. All right, cool. All right, and as I'm reading, if I come across a word I don't know, pause the audio real quick, look up the meaning of the word or try to figure out what the sentence is saying, and then start it back up again. All right, and because I'm using Let's Learn Languages with Netflix up above on the browser, it allows me to also repeat that line or the previous two lines or wherever. So I can skip to the start of the subtitle lines with the arrow keys on the keyboard. So that works out quite well. All right, so the benefit here is increased comprehension and increased retention of what's happening. I think that's kind of cool. The pop-up dictionary also, because I try to, at the top, is usually try to use the Japanese definitions, sometimes successfully, sometimes not. But at least it's saying, okay, how would the Japanese text describe this word? And is my level high enough to get the meaning of that word just with the definition alone? And again, don't succeed, but it is fun when it happens. All right. With that said, we can get started. So just to do some housekeeping. If you enjoy this video, remember to give it a thumbs up. If you like the series, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel because I do a lot of series like this. Or at least I plan to into the future. And again, this is all part of the Let's Learn Japanese project, which is a Patreon, and you can support that project by becoming a patron via the links below. In addition, there are links to the Let's Learn Japanese website that Otaku Dave put together, the Let's Learn Japanese community Discord, and finally, if you'd like to hire me, one-on-one counseling, technical assistance, usually it's technical assistance, then again, that can be done via the Patreon. So the hourly rates are given via that link below. And yeah, so if you'd like to help, especially a lot of people, what they do is they hire me to help start out. Like, because again, there's a lot of stuff out there, and they don't know, like, hey, what's the first thing I do? Usually for a lot of people, for this, it's like, hey, just need an hour of my time, get them started, explains, hey, what all this is doing, cool. Then they might come back a month or two later because they're going up to the next level of something they want to try to do and make sure that there might be a change they need to do. So, hey, what do they need? How they need to adapt what they're doing? Because the thing about language learning, and this is a part of the language learning, is there's what you do as a beginner is different than what you do in the basics, and then that's different than what you do in the intermediates. And then again, it changes again when you move into the advanced stages. And again, all this is prior to you going to that of language fluency and literacy. Okay. All right, with that out of the way, this is Let's Read Japanese, GTO, Great Ticho, and Onizuka, episode 4, part 1. All right, and yeah, because I split each episode into 2 parts, because that way it doesn't make this one particular video take over an hour to do, because I read slow. Although you could say it's not really the reading slow, it's the pausing to looking up the words. That does add a lot of time. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll pause, and because this is a let's read, it's kind of like a let's play, I add colorful commentary, sometimes too colorful, and the video gets demonetized. That's happening. Like every video of this particular series has been demonetized because the subject matter in GTO is kind of on the mature side, to put it lightly. And trigger warnings should always be probably offered before each episode because it can get kind of dark. Even though again, it's basically a comedy, but so it's a kind of a dark comedy, or it depends on how you want to look at it, just because of the subject matter. Because again, like the previous episode, yeah, tall building, kid, crash lands on the car. Whoa. Yeah, that doesn't, and purposely doing that. Yeah. Okay, so with that, let's get started. Episode 4. Let's put in both earphones. Onizuka Eikichi. Onizuka.
今日も暑いけどビシビシいくぞ。
暑いけどビシビシ素敵。ビシビシすぎすぎと Still, okay. Difficult. Severe, strict. So, okay, so we saw that. By the way, I'll mention this about the show. I like how the way this show does it. A good successful drama, I think, that makes it binge worthy is if it ends the first step, if it ends an episode with kind of a small cliffhanger. I think this series does it quite well. Another one that did it very well was, although it's not a Japanese show, it's The Good Place. It was pretty good about having oh God, I gotta see what the next episode's all about, because what does this mean?
他のやつどうした？風邪でもひいたか？
ボイコットだよ。
ボイコット？
みやびたち、自分たちの要求が通らない限り、もうニッチの授業には出ないって。
なんだその要求ってのは。
要求。
担任を変えろ。
は？
Oh, first he wanted him to just apologize, just apologize for hanging her over the balcony, almost threatening, basically putting her life at risk. But now, because she was embarrassed, oh, he needs to quit.
学園が始まって以来の不祥事ですよ、これは。
不祥事です。
コーチから次へと
我が学園が始まって以来の不祥事ですよ、これは。
コーチから次へと問題を起こされると、私のように真面目にやってる人間にはたまらんですよ、もう。
早急に対策を講じなかったら。
対策を講じる。対策を講じる。対策、sorry。対策講じる。なぜ対策を講じなかったら。
私のように真面目にやってる人間にはたまらんですよ、もう。
早急に対策を講じなかったら、保護者にバレたら、ますます大変なことになりますよ、理事長。
相沢みやびの母親はワイドショーのコメンテーターやってるんですよ。もしテレビで相沢みやびの母親はワイドショーのコメンテーターやってるんですよ。もしテレビで喋られたらどうなることが。
鬼塚先生、あなたのことだから何かいい手は考えてらっしゃいますわよね。
いえ別に。
なんだの？
俺の授業に出たくねえやつは出なくていいんですよ。
またそういうことを抜け抜けと反省という言葉がないのか、君の辞書には。
こうなったら鬼塚先生に責任を取ってもらうしかありませんな。
現場のことも考えていただいて厳重な処分をお願いします。
じゃあ
現場のことも
現状処分 strict punishment or strict 現状厳重寂しく断ったる様。Strict retaliation punishment, stringent, strict, stern, and strict punishment. Sorry, stop. Get out of there.
現場のことも考えていただいて厳重な処分をお願いします。
じゃあ分かりました。こうしましょう。まあ幸いと言ったらなんですけれどもね、もうすぐ夏休みですよね。だから鬼塚先生には2学期が始まるまでに生徒全員を、クラス全員ですよ、説得する。それができなかったら即刻クビ。
そんなんじゃ。
Okay.
それができなかったら生徒全員を、クラス全員ですよ、説得する。それができなかったら即刻クビ。
そんなんじゃ甘すぎますよ、理事長。
その代わり鬼塚先生にはかなり応えるもう一つの処分。
何ですそれ？
減俸処分。
減俸処分。Reduced. Okay. Oh, reduced salary. Okay. Gimpo. Okay, so reduced salary. Gimpo shogun. Okay, gotcha. Gimpo shogun.
で今月と来月のあなたの給料半分カットします。
ちょっと待ってください。じゃあボーナスどうなんですか僕
こん
の。
なのあるわけないでしょ。あなたこの学校へ来てまだ1ヶ月よ。
ちょっと勘弁してくださいよ。
やだやだ、こんな時間。ちょっと私歯医者の予約があった。
すっごいお得なの。
ごめんなさい。
いや
ちょっと待ってください。こっちにもいろいろ予定があるんですよ。
いませんよそんなんじゃ。
ねえちょっとみんな聞いて。もし鬼塚が説得してきても一切無視すんのよ。
裏切ったやつは
Like,
どうなるか分かってるよな。
おいちょっとトロフ聞いてんのかよ。
でも授業出たいな私。
もし鬼塚と口聞いたら絶好だからね。
make sure about Zekko. Nakatagai na do no tame. Okay, so United Front. Mamade Sukiai. End of a friendship. Sukiai. Koto watsu. That's I completely read that wrong.
もし鬼塚と口聞いたら絶好だからね。
分かった。
What was her name again? Toroku.
できた。バッチシ。先
Bachishi. Bachishi.
生のことを思うと私夜も眠れません。もう我慢できない。先生に私の全てを見てほしいの。先生に私の全てをあげたい。もう我慢できない。先生に私の全てを見てほしいの。先生に私の全てをあげたいの。今日の放課後保健室で待ってます。あなたの今日の放課後保健室で待ってます。あなたのともこ。完璧じゃん。よくこんなエッチっぽいの書けるよねエリカ。あんたほん
Huh. Interesting. Love letter.
あんたよくこんなエッチっぽいの。完璧じゃん。よくこんなエッチっぽいの書けるよねエリカ。あんた本当は売りとかやってんじゃないの。こんな純粋な女の子捕まえて。あんた本当は売りとかやってんじゃないの。つらいなこんな純粋な女の子捕まえて。
これ鬼塚に渡してきて。
でもともちゃん鬼塚先生のこと好きじゃないし。
そんなこと分かってるわ。
Tomo-chan. So what is that her name? I mean, that was Toro. Okay. Where are we at?
これで鬼塚呼び出してあんたに襲いかかろうとするところ隠し撮りするんじゃない。
分かったトロコ。分かった
あんたに襲いかかろうとするところ隠し撮りするんじゃない。
分かったトロコ。
Okay. So she's calling herself Tomo-chan. Maybe. I don't know.
タクトロいんだから。だからトロコって呼ばれんのよあんた。
Total. This total. Hmm.
タクトロいんだから、だからトロコって呼ばれんのよ、あんた。
Gotcha. So it's just a shitty nickname. Okay.
ごめんね。やってくれるよね。だって私たち親友だし。うん。
きしょう、ろくなバイトねえじゃないかよ。
Was it okay? I know it's like something severe again. Yokunabaito.
きしょう、ろくなバイトねえじゃないかよ。
おい、海の家なんてどうだ。おお、それいいね。俺たちがやればよ。女の子がうわうわ来るぜよ。
Wow, wow.
鏡
女の子がうわうわ来るぜよ。
鏡見た方がいいじゃないですか。
ってバカ。
おい、菊池、なんかパソコンにほら載ってねえのかよ。
あるわけないっしょ。1回50万なんて美味しい仕事。
そんなこと言うやつにお前気合い入れてもっと探せよ。そんなこと言うやつにお前気合い入れてもっと探せよ。
ねえおにち、なんでそんなにお金がいるわけ？
夏休みだからいろいろ買っちゃったんだよ。スーツに靴にグラサン海パンサングラス。
Let me hear that again. I know he's saying it again.
夏休みだからいろいろ買っちゃったんだよ。スーツに靴にグラサン海パンサングラス。
Kaipan? Okay, so I guess that's swim shorts. Swim. See? Let's make sure if it's trunks. Okay, swim trunks.
ボーナス一括払いしたらボーナスも出ねえんだぜ。
Pay the entire thing. Katsubarai.
家賃だ。ボーナス一括払いしたらボーナスも出ねえんだぜ。家賃だと3ヶ月溜まってるんだよ。
そんなこったろうと思った。
かすげでもすっかな。
Katsuage? Katsuage? Wait, is that like pork cuts? No. Threat. Hey, extortion? Oh, shakedown for money, okay. Katsuage.
かすげでもすっかな。
先生、これ。
一等賞金100万。お前俺に女装しろってのか。
違う。
お前俺に女装しろってのか。
違う。ここ。
紹介者にも賞金50万。
So that should be, that's the sponsor of the guy who introduces, right? Yeah, the introducer.
紹介者にも賞金50万。おなんかお前だろ。
やだよ。
大丈夫だってお前が一番可愛いもんうちの学校で。
いや、くれよや。
いやマジ安室谷広瀬なんか目じゃねえよ。
Amura. Amura. Okay. And,
いやマジ安室谷広瀬なんか目じゃねえよ。いや絶対 OK だって。あそうだ。だから歌ってみろお前。
じゃあ行くよ。キャンサーラ
so I guess this means, what is it? Ondo hazureta. So I guess like, bad pitch. Let's see. Onte. Oh, onte. Teiro. Okay, onte. Yeah, there's no harmony, no pitch or harmony. Auto tune. Ante no hazureta. I know it's probably. There we go. Go off key. So it's one of those things like you didn't. I mean, I knew what it's meaning, but I didn't like, onte. You just assume it's like some type of meter step or something.
Can you kiss me tonight? We will not long time.
Kaiza. That should be spread out. Kaiza.
おトモコ何やってんだお前。あ、俺の授業出る気になったな。お前黙ってないでなんとか言えよお前。
私先生と喋ると怒られるから。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
Okay. I like the intro. I like the intro song. But, wow. So it's like already like 20 minutes, and I've been I know I'm messing around. So. I think maybe the title of this, if I had my settings into Japanese, it'll give me the Japanese title of the episode. Although, I mean, let's see if it says it here. Yeah, they're not giving titles in the English. And okay, I know I could set my I could set my Netflix to Japanese. I don't, but yeah, sue me.
困ったな。
大変ですね。
そうなんですよ。
あ、この子なんかいいんじゃないですか。
いやー、こいつは無理でしょ。
そうですか。優しいしいい子だし、ちゃんと話せば分かってくれると思いますけど。
いや、いくらいい子でもこの顔とこのスタイルじゃねちょっとね。
授業に出てくれるようにどの子から説得するか考えてたわけじゃないんですか。
No, he's looking someone to do that.
でもうちのクラスに俺はアイドルになるやつがいねえかなと思って、ほら紹介料50万もくれるんですよ。こんな美味しい話なのにこれだったやつがいなくてね。7個のやつかあんな音痴じゃなきゃもう
一体何。
Sorry. Let me hear that again, by the way.
ほら紹介料50万もくれるんですよ。こんな美味しい話なのにこれだったやつがいなくてね。もう7個のやつかあんな音痴じゃなきゃもう
一体何を考えてんですか。2学期までに生徒全員集めないとあなたクビになるんですよ。
そんな先のことより俺は目先の50万の方が大切なの。
目先 media. Okay, makes sense. 目先の Stop that. Come on, get out of here. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah.
そんな先のことより俺は目先の50万の方が大切なの。
たく珍しく真面目に悩んでると思えばそんなこと。
ボーナス出たやつに俺の気持ちだから。あ、わかんない。
何をわけのわかんないこと言ってんだか。
先生見ましたよ。なんで教えてくれないんですか。もう水臭いじゃないですか。
は？
水臭いじゃないですか。
またとぼけてこれですよ。
水臭いに like distant. Is that what that is? Okay. Or weak taste also. Okay. Okay, gotcha. So it has different levels. Okay, makes sense. I thought it was more of an. Well, I mean, I'm assuming it's an insult, but.
は？
なんで教えてくれないんですか。もう水臭いじゃないですか。
は？
またとぼけてこれですよ。
とぼけて。Oh, feigning innocence. That's right. Feigning ignorance. とぼけて。
またとぼけてこれですよ。いつの間にこんなの応募したんですか。 またいいじゃないですか、照れなくても。これ藤木先生が一番誰よりも美しく写ってます。
誰が撮ったんですか？プロのカメラマンとは思えないし、実物。
Oh, oh, I need to wait. Let me see.
でもこれまたいい。いつの間にこん。
Okay. No, I'm saying they probably work from that same camera shot. Maybe.
でもこれ藤木先生が一番誰よりも美しく写ってます。
誰が撮ったんですか？プロのカメラマンとは思えないし、実物の方がずっといいですよ。
だから
The subject. I'm assuming like he's talking about the subject matter.
近くの若い方は何を考えてらっしゃるのか。
プロのカメラマンとは思えないし、実物の方がずっといいですよ。
だからまったく近くの若い方は何を考えてらっしゃるのか。教師のくせにこんなものに乗って喜んでるなんて。
私本当に身に覚えがないんです。
前から言おうと思ってたんですけど、冬月先生ちょっとチャラチャラしすぎじゃないですか。ちょっとチャラチャラしすぎじゃないですか。
チャラチャラってどういう意味ですか？
いくら夏とはいえちょっと肌の露出も多すぎるし。
露出。
いくら夏とはいえちょっと肌の露出も多すぎるし、教師なら教師らしい格好なさったらどうですか。それとも生徒の気でも引こうとなさってんのかしら。
ちょっと言い過ぎなんじゃないですか、小谷先生。いつも冬月先生のことになるとすぐムキになるんだから。ちょっと言い過ぎなんじゃないですか、小谷先生。いつも冬月先生のことになるとすぐムキになるんだから。
ムキになるのはどっちかしら。
またそういう。
だってそうです。
編集部に電話します。
あ、ちょっと教頭先生、教頭どうなさるおつもりですか。
目くじら立てることはない。
目くじら。
目くじら。
目く。
目くじら立てることはない。
目くじらどういうことですか。
いや、目くじらってのはあなたみたいな顔ですよ。
教頭。
だからそれは我が校のね宣伝にもなりますしね。だからそれは我が校のね宣伝にもなりますしね。
おお、そうかそうか。
どうだけど藤木先生、来年の入学ランのパフのモデルに。
いい？鬼塚のことだからすぐに襲いかかると思うけど、もし何もしてこないやったらこっちからモーションかけんのよ。
どうやって？
パンティ見せるかおっぱい触れさえいいのよ。そんなことも思いつかないの。パンティ見せるかおっぱい触れさえいいのよ。そんなことも思いつかないの。バーカ。
でもちょっと怖いな、ともちゃん。
あ、来た。いい？ドジって許さないからね。
分かった。
あ、誰か来た。
お手紙ありがとう。
聞いたね、お前。
実は先生も前から君のことをいい子だなと思ってた。妻と 離れ離れになってから5年、他の女性には耳くみしなかった。先生も男だ。本当は毎日毎日寂しくてたまらなかった。
Yeah, it's creepy to hear. Let's hear it again.
先生、妻と離れ離れになってから5年、他の女性には耳くみしなかった。先生も男だ。本当は毎日毎日寂しくてたまらなかった。ともかく何すんのいいのかい。2人だけの秘密だよ。
一体どういうつもりですか？
何をですか？
とぼけないでください。人の写真勝手に週刊誌に売り込んどいて。
やっぱバレました？
当たり前です。
いや、冬月先生のほら美しさを一人でも多くの人にほら知ってほしかったから。
よく言うわよ。ちゃっかり週刊誌に謝礼までもらっといて。
ああ。
ちゃっかり。自分の抜け目なく。
よく言うわよ。ちゃっかり週刊誌に謝礼までもらっといて。
ああ。
Huh. Oh man, not bad. $500 at that time, so it'd probably be.
あ、真下にでもほら渡そうと思った。
どうしてあなたはそういうつもりいい加減なんですか？
今日ほら晩飯おごりますよね。どうですか？
またいい加減なこと。それ元はといえば私のおかげです。
Where are we at here? Oh, there we go. Let me hear that again, by the way.
今日ほら晩飯おごりますよね。どうですか？
またいい加減なこと。それ元はといえば私のおかげです。ごめんなさい。
Ah, fuck those girls.
鬼塚と中丸のメールボック
And not in a sexual way. I just mean, screw it. Well, the hell with them. There we go.
ス間違えてんじゃねえよ。信じらんない。ザクトロインだから。
And again, the characters, I'm sure the actresses are lovely ladies. Great people all around, I'm sure.
ごめんね。
あームカつく。あんたなんかね、今までお情けで遊んでてやったのが分かんないの。あームカつく。あんたなんかね、今までお情けで遊んでてやったのが分かんないの。
ごめんね、みやびちゃん。今度こそちゃんとやるから。
二度と私に話しかけないで。
みやびち
あんたなんか絶好よ。
ただいま。あ、おかえり。ともちょうどよかった、手伝って。あ、はい。お客さんに上がり一丁ね。はい。
マジか。いや。
4丁目の田中さんだっけ？
はいよ。
お願いね。あ
なんだお前ともこ。お前んちか。
いらっしゃいませ。
何やってんだよバカおい。
あ、すみませんね、この子ったらもう。
大丈夫大丈夫。
頭下げて皿下げてほら。
ごめんなさい、先
先生？ともこの学校の先生なんですか？
担任の鬼塚英吉です。
生。英語の冬月です。
なんだそんな。
Wait, she's the English teacher?
もっと早く言ってくれればいいことにね。お母さんほらビール出してビール。
いいよ。あ、お構いなく。
あ、すいませんどうも。
じゃあ今日は家庭訪問かなんかで。
あ、そうです。そう。あ、
Ah.
じゃあ今日は家庭訪問かなんかで。
あ、そうです。そう。あ、
先生、この子とろいでしょ。お構いないですか？
いやそんなことないですよ。
またまた気ぃつけちゃってね。うちはみんなせっかちなんだよね。
何言ってんの？あんたにでしょ。うちには中学生の弟がいるんですけどね。お姉ちゃんって本当にうちの子なのなんて言うんですよ。醜いアヒルの子じゃあるまいしね。
同じ。
醜いアヒルのなんて言うんお姉ちゃんって本当にうちの子なのなんて言うんですよ。醜いアヒルの子じゃあるまいしね。
Oh, minikui. Oh, minikui. What? Ugly? Oh, okay.
同じクラスの相沢みやびちゃんだっけ？あの子だけだよね、お付き合いしてくれるのは。
いつも言ってんですよ、みやびちゃん見習えって。
どうせ嫁に行くしかないんだしね。
どうぞ邪魔します。
Got a low self of, yeah, she got a self opinion or.
おお、すっげえやだな、お前可愛らしくて。お前らしいな。
Where are we at?
おお、すっげえやだな、お前可愛らしくて。お前らしいな。うわ、すげえぬいぐるみだ。いや、これだけ集めるのは大変だな。うん、いや大変。
どうかしたんですか？
いや、なんかほら、俺と口聞いちゃいけないみたいな。
どうかしたんですか？
いや、なんかほら、俺と口聞いちゃいけないみたいな。
相沢みやびさんと一緒の写真だ。
私とみやびちゃん小学校の時から親友だから。先生こっちも見て。これが中学校の卒業式でしょ、それからこっちが一緒にディズニーランドに行った時。みやびちゃんって本当にすごいんだ。頭もいいし綺麗だから、小学校の時からずっと学級委員だし、運動神経も抜群だからね。
That's a full phrase. No shingen.
ブルセラショップに
運動神経も抜群だからね。
ブルセラショップに売ろうとしてません。
いや。
What else? Bruser. Use okay. Brusera. Blue sailor. Maybe it's blue sailor. Brusera. Let's see if blue sailor. Okay, that's.
いや、
ブルセラショップに売ろうとしてません。
いや、まさか。いや、最近の女子高生の実態をチェックしてるだけです。あ、そうだ、こんな赤友子いっぱいあるだろ、服な。
分かった。
先生見て見て。
へえ、案外大人っぽい服が多いんだ。ちょっといいかいい？
全部みやびちゃんとお揃いだから。
え、これ全部相沢みやびさんと一緒なの？
うん、私にとって憧れだからみやびちゃん。私にないものいっぱい持ってるし。でももういいんです、嫌われちゃったみたいだし。
ねえ、もっと自分に自信持ったら？
Zero self confidence. Yeah.
ダメですよ私なんか。
Oh, let me hear that again.
ねえ、もっと自分に自信持ったら？
ダメですよ私なんか。頭も悪いし運動神経も鈍いから。
So, okay. Athletic ability. No shinke. No shinke.
弟にまでトロコって呼ばれてるんですよ私。
じゃあなんか夢とかないの？将来何になりたいとか。
お父さんが言うように私なんかお嫁に行くしかないし。だったら。
Sorry about that. Had the earphones in, didn't hear my alarm going off. Where are we at? Here we are. Let me go
お
back.
父さんが言うように私なんかお嫁に行くしかないし。だったらせめて20歳までに結婚したいな。
What is he doing?
そういうのって今流行ってるじゃないですか。安室ちゃんとか雛形みたいに。
Oh, China doll. Hinagata Matsuri. Or is it Hina Matsuri?
安室ちゃんとか雛形みたいに。 本当にそれでいいの？しょうがないですよ。他に取り柄もないんだし。そんなことないわよ。確かに相沢さんはあなたが持ってないものいっぱい持ってるかもしれないけど、あなただって相沢さんが持ってないものいっぱい持ってるはずよ。そう思いますよね、鬼塚。
何ですか？
金儲け以外のこと考えられないんですか、あなたは。
Oh, okay, I get you. Okay. Wagering? Oh, wait.
金儲け以外のこと考えられないんですか、あなたは。
すいません。あ、2号だ。
ちょっと地味かな。
これなんかほらどうですか？
引っ込んでて。
じゃあこれ。
いいからもう。
あ、もうじゃあ帰りますよ。俺もうこんなことしてる暇。
Make sure about that.
ああ、もうじゃあこれ。
いいからもう。
ああ、もうじゃあ帰りますよ。俺もうこんなことしてる暇ないし。
ダメです。スポンサーなんだから。週刊誌の謝礼で払ってもらいますから、ここ。
は？冗談じゃないですよ。さっきほらおいしい終わったじゃないですか。
知ってるんですよ、野村さんのご両親にタダにしてもらったこと。これ着てみよっか。いいですよ、悪いし。遠慮しなくていいのよ。鬼塚先生からのプレゼントだから。
友がもしあったら買うことねえぞ。あ、
ね、着てみよう。
月先生、なんでここまでしてんですか？
よくわかるんです、野村さんの気持ちが。私も昔すごいコンプレックスの塊だったから。
さあ、
周りの子が眩しく見えて。
眩しく見えて。
周りの子が眩しく見えて、そういう子の服装とか喋り方とか真似ばっかりしてた。でもすればするほど自分に自信がなくなって、そんな時中学の担任の先生が言ってくれたの。お前はお前でいいじゃないかって。それからは自分と人とを比べることもなくなった。そしたら不思議なぐらい自分のことどんどん好きになったわ。女にとって一番大事なことって自分に自信が持てるかどうかじゃないかな。白馬の王子様待ってるだけの人生は送ってほしくないの、野村さんに。何ですか？
なんかほら自分に言ってるみたいだから。
違いますよ。私は別にその同じ女として。
いいじゃねえか、お前はお前で。
お前はお前で。
人の思い出のセリフ勝手に使わないでくれる？変ですか？すっごく似合ってるね。
すっごく似合ってる。
アイドルみたい。なんかよからぬこと考えてません？
え？
よからぬ？よくない。
え？
なんかよからぬこと考えてません？
入ってる。
やっぱりちょっと派手じゃないかしら。
いえ、よく似合ってますよ。これぐらい涼しげな方がもう絶対いいですよ。
涼 Suzushi Gay Nakata. I know it's like cool looking person, right? Or Suzushi Gay.
これぐらい涼しげな方がもう絶対いいですよ。夏なんだし。
私もそう思うのよ、実は。いいわよね、夏なんだし。じゃあこれいただくわ。
Where are we at? The
ボーナス一括払いで。あ、そうね、水着も。あっ、
小谷先生、お買い物ですか？
随分セクシーな服好きなんですね。随分セクシーな服好きなんですね。
これは親戚の子に買おうと思って。私がこんな服着るわけないじゃありませんか。あら。
Okay. I think it works for her. Yeah, the hat works for her. For her. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
あらあらあら。
It's her attitude. Obviously, it's her personality that makes her a distasteful woman. So that's true of anybody. So you can't buy class.
野村さん、何してんのこんなところで。
私
ちょっといらっしゃい。あなた最近私の授業サボってるみたいね。
Oh.
私はご両親からあなたを立派な女性にするようきつく。これ違うじゃない。やり直しなさい。あ、いいわね。縫い目も綺麗ね。あら、相沢さんよくできてるじゃない。
先生の指導のおかげです。
本当あなたは何をやっても優秀なんだから。
ありがとうございます。
あら、これちょっと色違わない？ずれてるじゃない。痛い。何ですかこれは。誰がこんなもん作っていいって言いました？今は将来あなたたちがお嫁に行った時に困らないようにするための大事な授業なんですよ。今は将来あなたたちがお嫁に行った時に困らないようにするための大事な授業なんですよ。あなたはバカじゃないの。
I assume that's like their version of home ec. And I try to remember. I never attended home ec either in junior high or high school. I mean, good classes to attend. I assume, you know, for cooking, taking care of the house and whatnot, which is I think is important. Everyone should know how to do. I'm obviously I don't, so it's bad on my part.
ないの？なんだなこれは。一体何この。
Tsukishima. Right.
できないの？なんだなこれは。一体何この縫い目。あなたは一体もういくつなんですか？
ごめんなさい。
So cheerleader, booing.
私って何やってもダメなんだろうね。元気出してよともちゃん。だってさ、みやびちゃんには嫌われちゃうし、小谷先生に怒られるし。
ともこ、何やってんだお前。
先生こそ何やってんの？
俺はほらいい子いねえかなと思って。なんだこれ。お、可愛いじゃんかこれ。名前なんて言うんだ。
ダーコです。
ダーコ？俺鬼塚英吉、よろしく。
こんにちは、鬼塚先
こんにちは。しかしよ、お前本当にそれアヒルか？なんかお化けを見てたぞ。
アヒル？お化け。I don't know that.
失礼ね。ともちゃんが一生懸命作ってくれたんだからね。
ああ、そっかそっか。お前ともこの親友か。
もちろん。
なんかよ、ほらこの頃元気ねえみてえじゃねえかよ、おめえの友達。
いじけてるの。私なんて生まれてこない方がよかったってね。ともちゃん、元気出してよ。ねえ先生、どうしたら元気出るかな。ともちゃん教えて教えて。先生先生。
Still kind of creepy. I don't. This part I didn't get. I didn't find what make about her character was supposed to be amazing. So maybe I'm missing something. I mean, she has an innocent appeal, but that's not really my thing. So it might be just that. She seems like a kid who needs self-confidence. That's interesting. But saying, oh, well, then here, become a model where your value is judged on how other people see you. It's like kind of like what we're not caring about, trying not to care about. I don't know. Well, could be wrong.
ともこここは一つ騙されたと思って。俺に人生預けてみないか。
Okay, I'm gonna stop it there. So let me write that down. Okay, so for those of you watching live, it's like the 5th, but this will be made available on the 12th, so June the 12th. And let's see, this time is 23:02, sure. Cool. Awesome. All right. Okay, so let's go with, final thoughts on this first part. This episode didn't really move me all that much from what I remember when I watched it the first time, and it's not kind of moving me now. I mean, the comedy part of what he's trying to do to like make some money, so he's like trying to find someone to basically that he can sponsor or host or be the introduced to this whatever talent contest. Cool, that makes sense, and it's funny, it's enjoyable. Her character, I can see that. I mean, I'm assuming there's kids where there's the leader of the bunch, and everyone's around is trying to be like her. She's probably from a rich family, seems to have better talent and smarter than the rest, seems to be able to tell the others what to do, and everyone seems to follow what she says. Okay, that exists, I can imagine. And she wants to be someone else, the person that she's admiring. So she's basically trying to shape what she be around someone else, and that becomes difficult because that's not her. She's not trying to develop her own unique talents. So that means that she's not going to be as good as the person she wants to be, instead of being as great as the person she could be. All right, so that makes sense. Self-confidence. Then again, this is about this is the episode with the talent show or the beauty whatever the hell it's called, and that's the creepy part, the sexualization of young teenagers in Japan. Still goes on. Look at the AKB48 and whatnot going on from there, where it's like, oh, everyone's trying to strive to be in there, and then when you're in there, you apparently treated like shit, which is insane to me. And then how it's kind of feel like it's like if it's it shouldn't just be like, oh, become someone so you have a chance to marry to a richer husband. It's like that doesn't sound like what you want to encourage, because then that means instead of like I get money helps make things more comfortable, but also I realize the rich, marrying the richest person doesn't mean you won, because if that's an asshole thing, congratulations, now you're wealthy and miserable, as opposed to being not as wealthy and not as wealthy and happy. I mean, there's a limit. There is money impacts happiness up to a point, where if you're poor and your income doubles, you're probably going to be much happier, much happier, triples. Okay, but when you make $100,000 a year and you're happy, you make $200,000 a year, but you'd be miserable. Is that doubling of pay worth it? And probably not, because like I said, you're just going to deal with the job. You got to spend a third of your life, maybe not that much, but yeah, a third of your time doing a job, and now you're miserable, as opposed to if it was a third of your time doing a job and you're happy. How much was that reduction of happiness worth? Was that $200,000 worth it when you already had $100,000? So yeah, there is a point, but again, so it's it's kind of like say looks aren't everything. Well, yeah, but there's a difference between when it's like brutally ugly, and again, we have to go on the idea of how humans are. There's the average human, is because we see, thousands a day or maybe hundreds a day. And again, in your mind, you get a pattern, and then so anything outside that pattern just feels uncomfortable. That's just the nature of how human evolution works. So that there is something termed ugly. It's like something that's like the lady who was singing earlier, and she was singing off key. You can't say, oh no, she was a beautiful singer. No, she was demonstrably not, based on our current acceptance of what sounds as a good singer. Being in tune, in key. Having the right pattern steps, keeping the beat. Right. Yeah. So I'm trying to be a little politically correct here, but at the same time, you got to acknowledge reality. You can't say, well, anyone can be a basketball player. No, not professionally. No, they're saying like that doesn't mean like if someone's 5'6", you say you can't be a basketball player. But we're saying like most people are going to be basketball players or above a certain height, for example, or people are football players above a certain size and strength or speed or whatnot. They have, again, there's got to be something that's part of the thing that can't be developed through hard work and grit. There's a part where, again, there is that physical portion. Same thing happens with looks, maybe even talent, some certain talents, especially physical talents. Mental talents may be a different thing, but for that one, a lot of mental capabilities, probably like how the person was raised. So if they were raised in a certain environment, most likely they're not going to achieve. But then that's one you can have change. That's something that can be changed. It can be done on a societal level. Where again, try to get rid of poverty. Don't do a war on the poor. That's an insane concept. But do things that say, hey, let's raise up everybody. These people at the upper extremes is like, well, sorry, you're not. The extra billion. How's that? How are you gonna be happier with that extra billion? Spread that out to like. Imagine if that was spread out to like, $2 million or $1 million mutual funds, right? So that's 1,000 mutual funds. $1 billion. Just talking about $1 billion, by the way. So imagine you got 1,000 mutual funds, and that pays out to 1,000 people who are like making, let's say, less than $30,000 a year. That would be a big fucking boost to their happiness. So 1,000 people are much happier than that one person with $1 billion, with $100 billion making $1 billion, reducing their wealth $1 billion. Okay. So the poor people, it's not that their wealth has increased $1 million. It's just that $1 million is now being used, invested in a mutual fund, and then the mutual fund pays out to the poor persons. So they're making an income that would require a wealth of $1 million to get, if that makes sense. But they'll be consistently happy for the long term. And if you just kind of gave them the $1 million, I know that sounds weird. That said, though, I mean, I've also got no problem when it comes in. Why am I talking about this? I'm sorry, I got way off track here about when we talk about, you're born with talent or whatnot. I get it, but that was different than if you're born into wealth and means. You definitely are going to have an advantage now, but you already see it but yeah, if you're an asshole, then all that means kind of, well, it does mean it's going to be the wealth that's keeping you up, but you're still going to be an asshole of a person. Yeah, I guess you gotta be careful on that too. Yeah, so if you become rich, be careful about how the kids are raised. I get it, you want your kids to be comfortable, but yeah, that's too complicated to talk about either. You're kind of seeing it there. Usually, shows like this, the person who's a real asshole probably has a rich parent to back it up. Sometimes. Then there's the ones that are just because of their natural ability to be leaders, are the assholes because they've been able to get away with anything. So their basically personality has been tempered with, not pride, but humility, has been tempered with humility. Anyway, I gotta stop talking about this. This is I know I'm talking about it, but I'm just like, I'm not really feeling this episode. And I remembered from the first time I saw it, I didn't like the episode all that much. And I can't blame the actress. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she's being told to act this way. Maybe that's just how she acts. I don't know. I'm not buying her character. But I also know there are both young and older women who act like her in Japanese society. Okay, whatever. So, and I'm assuming because there are those in Japanese society that kind of say they like that type of personality. Okay, it's just not something that I've found all that attractive. So fact, it kind of feels weird. Like when you're trying to act too young, to me that just has a where being, I guess, culture I was raised. It's not culture. I'm sorry. Just I don't know. I kind of prefer it where people act more mature instead of more childish, if that makes sense. That's all. So it's could just be a personal thing. So maybe other people really like to think this is one of the best episodes of the series. I doubt it, but yeah, maybe it was. They thought it wasn't as bad as I'm making it sound. But I do like what the points is bringing up about, and it's not really bringing up points. It's kind of, in fact, they're not talking against the contest. I think if they had talked against the contest, that would be a better thing, but they don't. They think that the contest was a good thing. And when you see it, I don't know. And again, I've saw it before. I didn't even think it made sense on how it concluded, and then or what became of her character. It just didn't feel realistic. But then again, I could be wrong because again, I didn't find her to be like someone you would want to, you know, bring a what is it like make into a model or a celebrity. I don't know. Entertain or a talent, yeah, make into a talent. There we go. Okay, it's all good. God, I talked way too much. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, this has been Let's Read Japanese GTO episode 4, part 1. If you enjoyed the episode, remember to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, if you enjoyed the series and you'd like to see more of it, and you haven't already, remember to subscribe to the channel. Okay, I make lots of series like this. Don't ring the bell. This is all going to be. I'm setting it now to where this all gets released every day at 8 o'clock in the morning. 8 o'clock in the morning in Japanese time. Yeah, okay, anyway, so this is all part of the Let's Learn Japanese project. There's links to the Patreon below, as well as links to the website and the community Discord. Finally, also, if you want to hire me and like, hey, you want to get started, and all the stuff like the setting up Anki, getting the material together, how to review, maybe how to study, especially at beginner and basic levels or even intermediate. Again, yeah, that's available. So you can hire me for, hire me, and the hourly rates are given in the Patreon below. Okay, cool. That's it. I'll be back with part 2. I'm probably going to record it tomorrow because my schedule today is may not be able to get the second part of this recorded in the afternoon because I got to teach a class like in 30 minutes. So, and then after that, I got to then go in person to an in-person class. So yeah, that's in the afternoon. Saturday is a busy day for me. That's my full work day. I don't know. It's kind of weird because I tell people don't really work. I mean, because technically it's a, me and my business, it's more of a cell-phone business, and I teach all the classes. She manages all the clients and the students and whatnot. So, but just I don't know. It's kind of cool. The way I look at it is like because it's fun. I don't really see it as work, so maybe that's why. Because I'm doing it for myself, or doing it for us. Yeah. But anyway, that's a different story. Sorry about that. It kind of leans on to what I was talking about earlier about, you can have a lower pay, but still be happier. As long as you're above that threshold of where you're not worried about what the next paycheck is coming from. So everything is basically paid for. So that's about what you're paying for your additional needs. Anyway, let's not go into a speech again. Sorry. Yeah. And so this will be on June 12th. See you. All right. So I'll probably be back in a few hours to do one more live stream, but I'll make it available on June 13th. Later, guys.